of entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
Now, we have to expand these pathways of success. And there's nothing to be ashamed of because TVET is industry driven. It's not academic, it's industry driven. So I know higher education.
Taxi drivers, sharing economy is now becoming the norm. Yeah? So Malaysians are gradually accepting this, and more Malaysians are using the internet and IoT to be excellent entrepreneurs. Let me give you a good example. Malaysia, every Malay, the two things they want to do. One is they want to be government. For as long as we listen to the people, for as long that we align ourselves.
On this panel right here. Just now, you mentioned that the people want less exams. Young people want less exams, and then Khairy, you mentioned flexible working hours and the like. When I was at CIMB, the legend was that Dr. Sri Nazir sees you in the elevator going down at 5 p.m. They'll ask you whether you're working half day. And so far, you've got a reputation with you, one of the hardest working ministers, within 18-hour days. I don't know how you feel about that. But, the thing is, it seems to me that there's this maybe slight contradiction in terms of where we want to go. We want to be a top 20 country, we want to have the best, the brightest, the most technically able. But at the same time, young people want to go less exams, less hours. My question is, do you feel that young people are softer today compared to previous generations? And I appreciate the sort of like bottom up versus top down. But when you ask kids, young people, what they want to do, they'll say they want to do this and that. It might not be the best thing for their future. How do you balance that off as policymakers?
When you see in Japan, for example, this issue of lifelong employment, a child goes to university, started work with one company, will end up in the same company 40 years later. Yeah, and then when the flexible hours and the temp scale became the mainstream, there was a fear in Japan, that Japan would be out of business. Japan would be going downhill and become perhaps a weak state. But that did not happen. In other words, the Japanese have been able to adjust. Yeah? Lifelong employment is important, but because of the ability to adapt to this temporary work, then it wasn't an issue at all in Japan. If you look at Google, for example, I happened to visit one of the Google offices here in the region a month ago, and you can choose not only the working hours, but the floor you want to be. Today you can be the first floor, next day second floor. These are the kind of things that jive in well with the wishes of the young people. So the issue is, your point is, how do you balance this? Yeah? On one hand, you want people committed. Yeah. On the other, you have this group of people, young people in particular, who are very easygoing, who loves holidays. Yeah, they want more leisure in the day. 24 hours. Yeah, in France, for example, they are going towards about probably a 30-hour week. Yeah? Those days were 50 hours. Now it came down. It's been coming down. So the point is, how do you balance? First, we have confidence in the human being, the ability to adapt. Yeah? Necessity will force them to adjust, like the Japanese. Yeah? There was a fear that with this set the direction, we'll do the monitoring, but the government has to leave a lot more freedom to the people to decide what they want to do, what exams to take, what kind of working hours. And it is happening to some extent. In the last budget, for example, the Prime Minister announced that women who are 5 months pregnant, they may choose to leave the office 1 hour earlier. And we've introduced another ban in the flexi time in government. And now I think it's 9 to 5. It was quite inflexible. So we are responding to that. This is, to demonstrate how we've been able to balance the demands of more freedom, bottom up, and at the same time we need to be aware that there's still a role of government. That's why we have, That's why we have politicians, prime ministers, ministers. So this is the kind of balance that we hope to be able to achieve going forward.
Yeah, Thanks. First of all, Faisal, just to clarify, I think I work as much as Kuala. Just, I certainly hope that I do. Look, the question whether or not millennials today are softer than previous generations, that is a perception out there, like, because we're talking about post-work society, we're talking about work-life balance and all these things that we didn't speak about in our generation, certainly not in Topaz's generation. Aizal, you and I are the last generation which experienced the analog age. We are Gen X, in our 40s, about 40. We're the last generation that experienced the analog age, and we straddled. So we grew up in the analog age. We still remember audio tape, and we still remember vinyl records, but we also know MP3, and we also know whatever formats that there are today, Spotify, etc. But the millennials of today, they didn't go through the analog age. So everything for them is a completely different world. And I don't think because they live in that world where efficiencies are measured differently, where they can do certain tasks much quicker, where their brains are wired in a much more different way than ours were, that we should say that the way they do things are any less effective or any less more productive than what we do. And it's not just millennials, you know. I mean, my staff recently pointed something out to me. This is a personal anecdote. I went on break recently. I took my first holiday this year after the SEA Games and the Para Games. So I went away for a week. Then I came back. You know, one of my officers, he said, you know, you were the most productive when you were on holiday. Because you know, I was able to do my work very quickly to get back to them. You know, I did the entire thing myself within one day. And it's because I had my own time, and I was able to work on the task in my own time. And I can understand this notion of flexible work arrangement, this notion of having clear targets set and going out there and doing it in your own time.
Let me share an anecdote. I belong to the older generation. There was a time when we have an emergency, you know, and then we don't have smartphones those days. Yeah, you got to literally stop at the phone. You remember those days? You got a phone booth, yeah. So and that slows down work, yeah. And this is why we were so unproductive those days. We were not as in terms of we worked hard, but in terms of output, it is not there. So this is one example. Yeah? Those days, you probably take you have emergency. It takes you hours because now it's their time. Yeah? It's what idiocy.
Yeah. So
and because of this, because of technology, smartphones and all.
Yeah, technology as well as you know, the ability to be able to step back. Because if you cram everything into a 9-to-5 structure, then you really can't breathe sometimes. You know, so that's the, and studies have shown that people are more efficient when they take time off, when they have this flexible work arrangement. So this is empirically proven. So I don't think we should hukum or punish the young generation and say, you know, thinking this way means you're lazy, means you're soft. It's just that they've been brought up in a different environment.
We're more productive, yeah. Because we want more leisure. And one manifestation, I mean, in the last 40 years, there been massive transformation. You can say that we are probably more laid back now than before, we're more hardworking, but the fact is there's more output, we're more productive. There's more output now in the year 2017 compared to the year 1960, for example. Yeah, we put in probably a lot of hard work those days. Less work now, but in terms of productivity, into the quality of life, it's a lot better.
I have a question here on protectionism and open innovation. So we have, for example, the Chinese. They have blocked Facebook, Twitter, Google, and the like, and they build their own local champions, Weibo, WeChat, Baidu, Alipay, etc. Malaysia, we've decided to be more open in terms of bringing competition from overseas. We changed our laws to accommodate Uber. We set up a new digital free trade zone for Alibaba and Lazada and the like. I'm just sort of curious, when we do these things, what sort of thinking goes into the policy making how do we see Malaysia and its place in the world? But at the end of the day, we are the size of a province in China, and we've got to make sure that we are very aware of our relative size with that. So how do the two of you see Malaysia in the next 20, 30 years developing out, and the policy making that goes into that?
Well, one key big difference, obviously, the immediate big difference between Malaysia and China is precisely what you said. We're even smaller than the province in China. So even if we protected our borders, our economic borders, and allow for local companies to start doing things that other companies are already doing, we may not even have the scale to achieve success. The reason China can take the path that they do is because they have that enormous scale. They have more than 1 billion people. So it makes sense for them. If we don't engage with the wider world and open our borders, then we're not going to survive. Because we need to trade. We need to get technology in here. So our model is not protectionism and trying to get our industries to a certain level. We've done that already. It worked for some industries. It didn't work for other industries. It certainly didn't work for the auto industry the way that we imagined it to do so. We didn't become Korea, where protectionism resulted in the birth of companies like Hyundai or Kia. And we didn't go the way of Thailand, where they have great vendors and competitive vendors. So we're trying to do that now with a new auto policy. For some areas it worked. For some areas protectionism worked. For instance, where we promoted export industries, where we promoted commodities, that worked. So we have to take a broader view now. So when we discussed the issue of the digital free trade zone, Pak can elaborate on this since this is his brief. We did discuss the fact that, who does this benefit? Does it benefit Malaysia more than China? Will it open the floodgates to Chinese SMEs coming in here? And we decided at the end of the day that trade is two ways. You can't view it as just the Chinese SMEs coming here and flooding the market with cheap stuff. We have to also grab this opportunity, find out what our competitive advantage is, whether it's durian or whatever it is that they want to buy, and get those companies into our market, get those companies into the digital free trade zone, and use it the other way around as well. But if you start thinking from a position of weakness, a position of inferiority, saying that we can't be competitive, we're not as cheap as them, we're not as innovative as them, then for sure they're going to win. Yeah? But we want it to be win-win. We want us to be the recipients of goods from China, and we want us to be a source of export to China as well. That's why MITEC and SME Corp are working hard in trying to put thousands of Malaysian companies, SMEs, onto the springboard for the digital free trade zone. If we don't do that, then of course we're not going to be ready. But we have to grab this opportunity, because otherwise, it's going to come anyway.
A few words about China, how close they are, how open they are. Firstly, you must be aware that all the Chinese are closed. By some definition, they're actually teaching our secrets. There are many things happening in America. There's some of the best and brightest scientists in America are Chinese, of Chinese origin. Some of them in the UK, America. They're good at bringing back those technologies. They're very practical. 1.4, 1.3 billion people, of course. One can say, you can, out of 1.3, they surely can produce lots of top scientists. So although China specifically being closed economy, the fact that it opened the world, it began, of course, Deng Xiaoping. But lately, early this year, there were two contrasting ideologies. Xi Jinping, who is now perceived to be the world leader, not anymore, not America anymore. In Davos in January 2017, Xi Jinping was the champion of economic globalization, openness. That's very interesting. And Trump, on the other hand, was seen to be inward-looking. So my point is, China, yes, is a closed economy, but lately they've been more and more open. Yeah? And they've been this ability. For example, you have a book published in America or whatever, and they're able to translate in real time. Next few minutes, they have that particular book available in the Chinese market. So they've got visibility. And it is a known secret, yeah? Whatever Tencent, Alibaba, they open, although they close from the point of policy, but in terms of entrepreneurship, they learn from the world, and they're very open. And when it comes to intellectual property, the Americans are very angry with the Chinese. They are perceived to have this ability to steal some intellectual secret. The reporters here. But this is one of the, although they seem to be close, but as a matter of fact, they are very open in terms of intellectual, in terms of scientists, in terms of IP. That's why they've been able. Plus, of course, what AJ said is correct. They've got a big market. Yeah. Anything works. The high-speed rail is extremely viable. Why? Because cities are 10 million, yeah, 20 million. So, say this route, say from Shanghai to Beijing, is doing extremely well. Why? Because this high-speed rail is connecting two of the biggest cities in the world. Yeah? Beijing. So, scale is very important. Having said that, we have Malaysian entrepreneurs, people like you, Faisal, and others, yeah, who are Malaysia. We are pragmatic Malaysia. Yeah? We've been open for many years. Of course, we have the Butra policy. People think this is a policy which has hindered development. It's not the case. Yeah? Faisal and many others in the room. Yeah? So we are very pragmatic. We embrace globalization, openness at the same time. We have this ability to make sure that globalization benefits as many people as possible. We're talking about inclusive globalization. Openness, yes, but we're very pragmatic, yeah, very inclusive. Prime Minister is now talking infra-rakyat, bringing infrastructure to the villages, to Trenton Highway. This is the beauty of Malaysia, yeah. We have been open. We adopt, as a matter of policy, foreign policy, economic policy, we realize there are limits to globalization before others realize. For example, we have the policy to fight poverty, BRIC, and others. So what people are talking now about the downside of globalization, we have recognized a long time ago. And we have put in place policies which are quite inclusive, and for that reason, we believe we've been successful, and for that reason, we'll continue to be successful in the future.
I'm very aware of the time. Do we have some time for one or two questions, maybe?
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Yes.
Sure.
We only were quarter to 12.
Yeah.
James arriving at 12:30, right?
Yeah.
I think we can finish about half an hour.
Half an hour.
Okay, perfect. The mics are over there. Do we have a volunteer? Let's be the bravest. Here we go. Well done, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to the esteemed panel. My name is Warren. I was actually a speaker earlier.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Oh, sorry.
Bring microphone closer to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I said good morning to the esteemed panel. My name is Warren. I come from a startup called Parkifi. I was a speaker at the panel right before this. There was a particular point that was brought up by YBKJ that I thought was pretty interesting, which is that in terms of EDOs per capita, entrepreneur development organizations, we are perhaps one of the highest in the world. I'm curious to know what you think in terms of what's creating the disconnect between the number of organizations and the entrepreneurship that we see in the country. Personally, as an entrepreneur, I feel, sorry, I hope I'm talking close enough.
Yeah, it's good.
Personally, as an entrepreneur, I feel that I have benefited from these programs, but I'm just curious what you see on your level on a bigger scale.
Yeah, thanks. I also speak about this coming from the experience before coming into cabinet. I led one of the EDOs, QME, for a few years. So I have some experience in this sector. I think there are a couple of things, Warren. One is just the lack of. I mean, it sounds like a cliche problem, but the lack of communication between EDOs and a lot of entrepreneurs. If you ask the average person on the street whether or not they know about these EDOs, I think if they're not connected or have done enough research into it, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know about the various organizations that we have that support entrepreneur development in this country. So what we've done, there used to be a cabinet committee under MITEC for young entrepreneurs, and that's been given over to the Ministry of Youth and Sports and still supported by MITEC. We've tried to bring everything together in one portal, and I launched it a couple of days ago called the Youth Entrepreneurs Network YEN portal, where it's basically a single window for people, young entrepreneurs, to come and see what there is. So you have all the schemes and all the grants and all the loans in one page or in one portal, as it were. But unfortunately, we've only been able to get part of the EDOs in there. And we're trying to get as many EDOs as possible on one portal. The approval process is still at the EDO level, but at least people know that if they are at the formative stage, these are the loans available. If they are at intermediary stage, these are the assistance that are available, and so on and so forth, and they can match themselves to whatever is available out there, and there's an algorithm as well that helps them when they put in all the details of the companies, they are nudged towards a particular scheme, loan, or EDO. That's one. Secondly, I think the issue is also a bit more fundamental than just information or communication. It's also because we don't have an entrepreneurial society, an entrepreneurial country. No matter how many EDOs you have out there, when the general ecosystem of Malaysians and young Malaysians are still averse towards entrepreneurship, there's only so much EDOs can do. Because EDOs, by definition, are normally government set up. And they're there to facilitate. They're there not to start businesses, not to seed ideas for people to start businesses, because it doesn't work like that. You can't have organizations and agencies leading the way. You need people to lead the way with ideas, with innovation, with taking risks, with going out there and creating a product or service. So, in a sense, we put the sequencing maybe was a bit out of place, where we put the cart before the horse. And there are a lot of EDOs, but the society, the entrepreneurial society and ecosystem is still not there. But that's changing today. I think it's changing today because a lot of young people see the potential in becoming an entrepreneur, especially with the digital age. I think they see barriers to entry going down. The cost of starting up a business has also gone down. Cost of marketing has gone down. You can market and advertise online, on Facebook, on Instagram. You don't need a model to advertise your clothes. You can just wear it and say, this is my outfit of the day, come to my shop and buy it. And these are all exciting young people to start businesses, and they've suddenly seen that the barriers to entry are far lower than before. So I think we are at a very, very interesting stage right now, where just maybe we are at the start of a wave of entrepreneurship. And it's not just EDOs, it's also peer-to-peer lending, it's investors, small investors that have come in for crowdfunding, and this is exciting the entrepreneurship space. And of course, there's a role for EDOs to come in there because even if you have crowdfunding, even if you have peer-to-peer, a lot of these EDOs offer a lot more than just funding. They offer assistance, they offer training programs, they offer networking. So I think we may be at the start of something very exciting in the next few years.
There's a view, Warren, that entrepreneurs have been successful out there. This view, of course, is not 100% accurate. There's a view that those who have done well are young people who did not get any help from government. Yeah? As I said, that's not entirely accurate, but there's some cases of entrepreneurs who have done well without no help or very little help from government. As I said, it's not 100% accurate. There will be a point in time when you need help. You need to go to MITEC, you scale up, you need to do some crowdfunding, you need grant from MITEC, this kind of thing. So what we do in government, yes, you're right.